Season 3 will be the last series of Versailles. Will there be another series of Versailles? Unfortunately not. The news was confirmed by Fabrique de la Patelliere, head of fiction at Canal Plus, the French channel behind Versailles, who told Variety, "The series was meant to chronicle the coming of age and rise to power of Louis XIV and show how he built Versailles to quarrel his nobles, asserting his absolute power." At the end of the third season, Louis XIV has achieved absolute power. He's 46 or 47 years old, so we reached the end of the narrative arc that we had envisioned for the series. The final episode was accurately titled The Legacy. Historians debate over the impact of Louis's reign, some arguing his reign set up the foundations for the French Revolution that occurred 80 years later. On the other hand, historians such as François Bluch attribute Louis' reign to important cultural and political movements that were responsible for the birth of modernity in France. Actress Jenny Platt, who played Jean, Louis XVI's shoemaker but also a strong woman who was the voice for the impoverished people of Paris, spoke exclusively to Express. Jenny was lucky to feature in the final shot that was filmed for Versailles Echo. She said about the show coming to an end, "I think this had been quite a big experience for everybody involved in it, and you could feel that at the end, everybody was very emotional, but French people like to party, so that was good. I think people were very sad, but also you could see everybody was very proud of the work and the actors who had been in it for 3 years. They were all saying they're going to miss it hugely, but at the same time, they think the producers are right. Actually, the story of King Louis after this point is kind of less interesting. So you have got all this story as far as it can go, but I think everybody feels quite happy that it is the right time to end it on a high." Where is Versailles filmed? Where is it set? What happened in Versailles Season 3? Versailles follows the story of King Louis XIV, played by George Blackton, and his controversial reign before and after he moved his court from Paris to Versailles officially in 1682. King Louis is the longest reigning monarch of a sovereign country in European history, reigning for 72 years between 1643 until his death in 1715. Louis began his absolute monarchical rule in France in 1661. Season 3 focused on the height of his reign in the 1680s, where he had complete authority over the church and aristocracy in France and was the leading power in Europe. The show loosely traces true historical events with a dramatization of secrets, lies, infidelity, brutality and politics within the Palace of Versailles. The third season began with the French victory of the Franco-Dutch War, 1672-68. Unrest within the royal court of Versailles and on the streets of Paris characterized Louis XVI's reign, as portrayed in the final 10 episodes of Versailles. King Louis seems to have everything he could ever want at the start of the season. However, this was not the case. Who stars in Versailles? Blackton told the Metro.co.uk, "The complexity of Season 3 is, once you've got everything you wanted, how do you sustain that happiness? If it can even be called happiness." Season 3 sees Louis XVI wanting to expand France's territory as a leading power of Europe, particularly by annexing Spain. In this quest, he taxes the people of Paris heavily who are already suffering from overcrowding, poverty and ill health caused by poor infrastructure and living conditions in the city. Further, he believes the only way to solve these internal problems of Paris is through the same way he financed his wars, by continuing to raise taxes, leading to greater unrest in the city. Platt said, "I think certainly there is the fear in Europe and throughout the working classes that the upper echelons could come crashing down. So I think that is probably one of the reasons why Louis is coming down so hard on all of this, because he is thinking, I don't want this to start. I don't want revolution here. I think you can feel that there is an inseparable source and in the end, revolution is going to happen, but it takes 100 years. How accurate is the sex in Versailles? King Louis XVI also fell in love with his royal governess Françoise d'Aubigny. She soon became one of his closest advisors. Marquise de Maintenon, Catherine Walker, who became his second wife. In Versailles, Louis XVI is married to Maria Theresa of Spain, Eliza Lassalski, and also had numerous mistresses. The official synopsis for episode 10 reads, "Looking to the future, King Louis XIV seeks to reconnect with his people and reconcile his family. As some off-pressed Parisians plan a violent welcome for Louis, has one of his friends become a foe? You can catch up with the finale of Versailles on BBC iPlayer now. You can also watch the previous 2 seasons of Versailles on Amazon Prime by signing up to a month free trial or purchasing a season for £11.49. Season 3 is expected to drop on Amazon Prime in the coming weeks now that the show is finished airing on TV. Versailles Series 1-3 box set arrives on DVD on August 13th.